All right. Yeah. Properties. Oh wait, this is. All right. Testing.
So I'm sitting there,
Testing.
sriracha sauce on my balls.
All right. Hey, we are now coming through.
Oh no.
Never mind, son. All right. I'm Michael. I am GMing tonight. Pronouns are he, him. If y'all want to go through and introduce yourselves.
Hi, hello. You can call me Laura or Tutu or Laura Tutu. My pronouns are she, they. I am playing Maxine of Clan Toreador, whose pronouns are she, her.
I'm Hallie or Jalapeno. She, her, playing Celeste the Tremere, also she, her.
I am Son of Asgard or World Tree Quest here on Twitch. I am he, they. I am playing Connell of the awesome clan Gangrel, and him. Don't do drugs, kids.
All right. Well, last time we was gonna be a hey, let's just follow you around for a little bit before we get to the thing, and then that spiraled. We want to go over what
Listen, Michael, you gave us options, okay? It's never good when you give us options.
Oh, that's how I do my shit. In a couple weeks, want to go over what happened?
So what happened was there's been some shit with the Anarchs of New Orleans. Long story short, some shit was slipped to the Camarilla that should not have been slipped to the Camarilla, and we were put on the outs. We then decided, you know what we'll do? We will offer ourselves up for what basically amounts to a suicide mission to get some info on the Camarilla. Thing is, turns out the Camarilla might actually treat us better than the Anarchs because the Camarilla doesn't seem like the type to just throw us under the bus at the slightest fucking inconvenience.
Yet.
Yes.
Yet.
Yet. Keyword yet.
I would not be surprised if at some point in this chronicle we ended up joining the Sabbat. I would not be surprised.
You know what? At this point, considering that we switched sides in the space of like what,
Fast.
a couple of months,
like relatively quick.
Yeah. To be fair, it sounded that we were. It was sus. The Anarchs were a little sus to begin with.
Sus as balls, right there.
We were supposed to end up getting somebody dead. The someone who was supposed to be dead was not in fact dead. We were not informed of this fact from the get-go, and I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back. So we said, fuck these people. We're going into the ivory tower. And that's what you missed, Ungly.
All right. So, I think, where had we ended last time?
We were literally climbing into the prince's car.
Yeah, we had just informed him that, what's her fucking name? Anastasia. Wasn't dead.
Yeah, the big Toreador bitch of the Anarchs.
We had told him that we know she's been held by the Nosferatu of the Anarchs. He said it's going to be difficult to find her. We said, yeah, but we'll help you any way we can. We want to prove our loyalty.
With one exception. We wanted to make sure Amanda
Yeah, that's
was
what
safe.
I was about to say. We wanted. Yeah. We also basically sold in for the. We'll be completely loyal. Connell ended up like giving his oath, like I'm yours, I'm your man, as long as Amanda is safe, and as long as Maxine and Celeste are safe.
And I think Maxine actually offered a boon to the Prince of New Orleans in order to seal the deal. That's not going to be a problem later, I'm sure.
I can't imagine.
Great. Love this for us.
I don't know what a boon means.
It means I'm Romeo's bitch.
And they have a tendency to take boons fairly seriously.
Yeah.
Does a boon act as like one favor, or is it just kind of you're his bitch?
You've got minor boons and major boons. I did not specify, so that could probably be negotiated.
Aha.
Oh, it reminds me of a couple things. So, and this is one because it's been a couple weeks. I'm not great at taking notes. There's a lot of stuff I remember. But you remember while you were heading to the princes?
Honestly, I think it was just like recon. Okay. Does that sound right, guys?
think so. 'Cause
Because we went to this place, and then
The
we
weird
were
garage.
talking. We were talking to. Was it Fayez?
No, it was
no.
No, it was just a random. It was a random guy
It was Alan.
Yeah.
who'd got out with a laptop that had Romeo on
that
it.
was Aladdin, essentially that
That's
was
it.
the sheriff.
We'd spoke to Romeo, and then Romeo suddenly just said, "Well, right, get in the car and come to wherever he
Yeah, right.
was."
Fuck it. I think was the general consensus.
Yep.
But yeah, the general idea was we were tired of getting jerked around by the anarchs. So we said, "Fuck it,
Fuck your life, bing bang.
bang bang."
Okay. When you get to this is one of the prince's abodes. Car pulls up, goes into the garage, closes behind, and Aladdin gets out. Heads on in. Thank you, Will. Anybody who's watching this, you should also check out Will's Exalted game over on Vampire Entertainment.
It's my buddy Will.
Will, hello,
Hey,
friend.
buddy. Hey.
Hi, buddy. I like your face.
And Aladdin goes.
As someone who's seen it up close, Will, I love your face.
You all got to hang out.
We had pizza. We had pizza together, guys.
Ooh.
I'm fucking jealous.
All right. When you inside the boat, it's a fairly nice house. Like you kind of pass by a very large library on the way in.
It's in the fucking Garden District, isn't it?
Sure. Yes. He's
Bougie ass.
hey. If you're gonna be Prince, you're gonna get all the shit with it.
That's fair. The Garden District is fucking gorgeous and really expensive.
I'm gonna be a prince one day.
Sure you are, baby.
I will. Shut up. I want to be Prince.
My mama says I'm pretty.
Could be anything I want. And
Someone has to. Just,
Oh, Hallie!
I'm sorry, Brad. I'm sorry, Brad. It was there.
That's a load of tough talk coming from somebody with that fucking hair color.
All right, both of you roll for aggravated damage. We're gonna see how much those burns actually did.
Hallie, I'm gonna need you to not antagonize our DM.
Do not get into a vicious mockery battle with me. I am Scottish.
I'm kidding. I love you.
He's gonna kill us tomorrow.
Showed
I
weakness.
was just
You know
there,
what happens
set up
when
on the
you show
T-ball. I couldn't. I just.
Oh no, Michael, I'm sorry.
Why are you
I
so aggressive?
choose mercy.
God. This is my favorite thing about Vampire the Masquerade because we can have those moments of really like intense, like painful shit.
Mhm.
And then
Vampire the Masquerade is either heartfelt, emotional, intense moments or fuck around and find out. There is no middle ground.
and sometimes you get both in the same session.
And sometimes
In the
there's
same
trauma.
sentence.
Yeah.
Like.
Vampire the Masquerade only supplies one type of trauma, and that is religious trauma. I'm sorry, okay, I'm saying it.
That's fair. That's fair.
There's a reason this character kills Catholics. Just saying.
All right. He's waiting for you in it's kind of a larger study. There's a fire going in the fireplace. He is seated, and then just kind of waves a hand over towards some of these kind of plush couches that are in this area.
Maxine has not let go of Connell's hand, just like half death gripped.
Connell is now at the point of realizing that, Maxine and him are now just like a joint package, and Celeste is like the one that tags along. or actually, no, it's not the one that tags along. The one that is dragged along.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's just like,
Let's just along for the ride.
He's just like holding her hand, and every now and again just giving it a wee squeeze, like, you're all right, you're all right.
Honestly, she's probably got a hold of Celeste too.
Somebody has to.
He just goes, I have to tell you, when we heard we'd killed Anastasia, it seemed like a little too good to be true. I'm not terribly surprised that it was a bit of a setup.
We were sure. When we gave you that intel, we were sure.
I'm positive you were. After all, if you knowingly sent Anastasia to her death, then that's something that you would have over Oriane. Because you would have that knowledge that she killed one of her own to keep her power. You put out a good target, and we went after it. I'm assuming the rest of the ones we got there are going to be burnt. But she was covering as many bases as she could. Putting you in a position, well, a lot of people hate you right now.
Hatred I can handle. Disrespect I can't. So what do we do next? What's our next step?
Well, to a large degree, things are going to continue. We need to continue as normal without them knowing that we know what's going on. So we can continue business as is. The Anarchs and the Camarilla will be, as always, bit at each other's throats. Been kind of nice having it a little bit quieter recently, but things cannot remain.
Have we heard anything about the Amanda's boyfriend?
Ah. Well, we're looking for him right now, so it'll take a little bit of time. We don't know where he went from here. I believe you said that the voodoo practitioner he talked to was going to let him know that she was gone.
Yeah.
Yes.
I trust her word. They're not
we
stupid.
did a thorough job of convincing her.
We gave her a fair incentive to not help him any further.
All right. Well, if she does her job, ours will be fairly easy. All we need to do is kind of keep a little bit of an eye, because the single best place for him to go to find her alive, frankly, would be them. And if they're not helping him, well, he's chasing a ghost. And a ghost he's been told from those who would know that she was gone. I'm sure she'll have a story for why it brought those people to you.
But she'll be safe.
Absolutely. We have offered asylum to her. Well, granted, right now, she's with those Nosferatu. But the word is going to get to her. Also, I have some people letting the Thin Bloods know. We have a hell of an umbrella here. We can afford to bring some more in underneath it.
The Thin Bloods will be a vital asset. The Anarchs looks at anybody who's not entirely obedient. They look at them like they're vermin. You know, the handy thing is, vermin tend to get in places without being seen. And that's what your Thin Bloods will be. You let them know they'll be heard. They'll do wonders for you. That's where Oriane fucked up. She paid so little attention to those beneath her, she didn't realize how many ears were in rooms or how many eyes were in rooms. And as somebody who has been part of many ambushes, I can tell you, the more ears and eyes you've got there, the better it is for you.
I shall take your advice to heart. I'd like to see peace in this city. I'd like to see us be able to go around our own lives unbothered by others. But Masquerade, as always, is a concern. Easier if we're under one roof. So I understand you were supposed to be all of you here shortly, getting together with the various clans. I mean, granted, we don't have any gangrel, as you and yours left some time ago now.
I'm hoping that a good show will be able to bring some back to the fold. My kin, we like to be able to put actions to words. I need to know what I can offer them. What I can offer them and guarantee them when it comes to the Camarilla.
Well, we would, of course, be more than happy to have the Gangrel rejoin with us here. It would be. I'm not someone who believes in miracles, that's for damn sure, considering we live on the other side of that, but what do you think it would take? I mean, brought into the Camarilla, given the respect, becoming a part of us, absolutely, but I have a feeling over the way things were left previously. I believe there could be a certain independence because the biggest parts of our organization deal with the things that everyone but the Sabbat tends to agree on. We must be kept hidden. Living our lives as best we can without bringing down the Second Inquisition.
We Gangrel. We're not stupid. The smartest predators in the world know how to find their prey, kill it, and make short work of it before any noise is made. And that's what we are. Within the world of the kindred, we are the apex predators. Don't hold a leash. Build a fence. Don't restrict by grip. Let them run free, but run free within your borders. Allow them to show you what they're capable of without immediately assuming they're a liability. And I can guarantee you any number of Gangrel will come over. You'll gain their loyalty. You'll gain their trust, and what's more important, you'll gain their respect.
So say we open up our doors, welcome in the Gangrel, realizing I realize coming from a Tremere who we're used to being on a rather short leash, that the Gangrel themselves do not appreciate that nearly as much as you've just said. If they'll be brought in and realizing that some of those ground rules, the basics, Masquerade, things along those lines, I believe we all can agree are important. If we build this relationship with you as the go-between, if someone happens to break one of those rules, and I think we'll all agree those ones are very important, that'd be something you would be able to handle.
As long as I get to handle it like a Gangrel, it'll be handled.
My understanding is Gangrel handling things tend to be a bit on the permanent side, so that can take care of problems if they do arise.
To become a Gangrel, you have to be capable of survival. You have to not just be willing to survive, you have to be hungry to survive. If you're stupid, you don't survive. That's the simple fact. So if anybody is stupid, they will not survive. And that will be my promise to you.
Then you have both my thanks and the assistance if necessary. That's a promise you can take to your kind.
And Connell, with that being a promise given, Connell's going to look him dead in the eyes and be like, my kin will hold you to that.
And I will be held.
Romeo,
Yes.
sir. What of Miss Logronio?
Miss Logronio. Remind me, Miss Logronio. There's a lot of characters.
That would be Maxine's sire.
Oh. I was unaware of the difficulties between you and your sire when I contacted her. She came through to visit. She does not stay in this area. It's not terribly far away, but it appears she's aware of the problems between yourself and her.
Did she give you the particulars, or shall I?
She did not share the particulars with me. If you wish to give them to me.
You know how my clan can be. We are attracted to those things that are shiny, things that are rare, things that things that we find beauty in. Apparently she found that in me and did not give me the option to make a choice on the matter. Now there's a level of, I wouldn't call it grateful, to be perfectly honest. If I see her again, I can't promise that I won't rip her throat out. She made me what I am, gave me the ability to survive, the ability to thrive with this new unlife. But she took something from me. You understand? She took my choice.
I do. See, as a Tremere, we don't bring people in unless they, well, not only been approved, but they know what they're getting into, because being part of the pyramid was not something you just spring on someone. There's too much to it. And I believe that has been one of the strengths that we've had. Of course, it means we're bringing people a bit slower. The Toreador occasionally have a bit more of a flair for the dramatic, and unfortunately, in some of them, they take liberties. Now, that is not against any of our laws, unfortunately, nature of ourselves. However, I can let her know that unless she has pressing business in New Orleans, it'd be best if she stayed. Oh, well, stay where she's been.
I would appreciate that.
It's not a problem. Celeste, we'd be very happy to have you back among us.
Excited to be back.
It's a unique opportunity. There's not many cities that we actually have, well, that we actually hold power in, especially since all the destruction of the pyramid. It's an interesting and exciting place. This place, more than any other, I think is ours.
It's nice to see a Tremere being in charge for once.
It's not an easy thing, but I believe it'll be better for everybody, all things said. So, I do know that they're planning to be a clan meeting tomorrow, and I believe the Toreador are having one here soon as well. Connell, I don't know if... I have no idea how to get a hold of the gangrel. But I'm assuming you've taken care of that.
A gather has been called.
I will say
They should start arriving soon.
It's also for tomorrow. We'll have to do a little bit of jumping around between these things.
After the first day, we'll begin talks.
Assuming the first night will be for a celebration.
Connell's just going to chuckle and be like, that's
a lot of ways to celebrate.
We have to pick who will lead discussions at this gather. And we do that by seeing who's strong enough to lead discussions at this gather. There will be lots of fighting.
Right.
Don't look so happy about it.
I'll try not to.
Let me retcon things a little bit then. Let me give you... so basically it'll be in 2 days will be the meetings for the other ones.
Okay.
Rad.
And at the New Orleans NPCs, I kind of slid a thing down there that has the... from the various clans that are here in the area.
Ooh.
There'll be a couple other, like, ones that are not named. People in the background who may or may not be day players again on the television show that we are creating.
What?
I'm Steve. I'm hoping someone likes me and decides to give me an actual name and lines. Currently just vampire number 6.
Sorry, quick question. How do I spell Camarilla?
Camarilla.
Sweet, thank you.
Right, someone asked me, is it Camarilla or Camarilla? And I've always said Camarilla.
Makes you second guess everything, though. When people ask that, like, oh shit.
Well, someone's like, does this milk smell bad? I'm like, well, now I don't know what.
Now I'm not sure. Isn't it Italian? It's supposed to be Italian though, right?
I don't. Maybe.
I'm pretty sure it's
If
Italian.
It's Camarilla, then it would be Camarilla, surely.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say Camarilla because
Yeah.
That's-
Whatever. We're in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Nobody speaks red anyhow.
In
That's
Scotland, we just say Camarilla.
Camarilla.
since 91, it's been Camarilla. That would be weird for me to change it now. Wait, anybody want to do anything before? I know Connell's going to have. We'll kind of do some narration for that first day, and then we can get into these various meetings. Anybody got anything they want to do before that?
Maxine should probably eat.
I'm guessing. Yeah, what are our hunger levels
I'm
right
at
now?
I'm at 3.
Ooh, I'm at
That's
one.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
pushing it. That's
Yeah,
pushing it.
You had a little bit of a thing.
Yeah, I made some
One.
choices and did
I'm
some
on
things.
hunger 1. Time to do some sketchy shit.
Doodah. Yeah, she would probably ensure that she has the prince's blessing before she goes off to hunt.
Oh yeah, I mean you've got your hunting ground. You don't. I mean the thing is that hunting ground is technically an anarch territory right now. He will offer to allow you to use a hunting ground, one of his, as opposed to if you don't want to necessarily go back into anarch territory.
Yeah,
You can use my swamp if you want. I got some nice pet gators.
It's a good swamp.
It's a pretty swamp.
Given the target on my back at this point, I would appreciate it, sir.
All right. Yeah, your thing is you describe how you're hunting tonight. You got
I
a
mean,
good chunk of Bourbon Street there available to you.
I thought Bourbon Street was off limits.
Not very close to Bourbon Street, rather. It
Yeah.
abuts to. I looked up the map I put together. Yeah, the Princess stuff kind of abuts to. It's like between Canal Street, Rampart on one side. Yeah, essentially, there's a little bit of Bourbon Street that is kind of close enough that it's off in there. But yeah, it's kind of right in that little area.
What about Frenchman Street?
Okay.
That's an area that I like. You get a lot of live music, live musicians. So I think
Oh, that's where to find live musicians in New Orleans.
Frenchman Street is amazing. To be fair, I was also when Jamie took me there for my bachelorette party, we were staying on Royal Street, and every morning there was a little like jazz combo that would post up literally outside of our little condo thing, like on the street, and we would be woken up to the sounds of New Orleans jazz at like 10 in the morning. It's perfect.
Oh, I think we've mentioned this. It's been in several sessions, but like voodoo practitioners and musicians are considered off limits as far as hunting. Now, granted, like you don't necessarily know if some dude in a club is a musician, but in particular, like with the bands playing, because those are a very popular thing.
Yeah, no, we wouldn't go sniping after people from the preservation hall.
One thing I was disappointed in that little with my the quest. The New Orleans, like the tour thing I took, like it uses the Google Street View, and that's all during the day. I'm like, I want to see this at night.
Yeah, no, that's the fun stuff. Yeah, then she would probably go looking for. I mean, there's all sorts of burlesque in and out of that area. Something small, but not too intimate.
Okay.
Yeah, given her background and what she likes to hunt for. Yeah.
Eat a bass player that I just said. Eat a non-bass player.
Yeah, no, she's a scene queen, so she would want someone who is in the nightlife.
Okay. Go ahead, and if you want to go ahead and make your standard roll for hunting, which will be on your predator thing, then we'll be able to kind of narrate that.
Uh-huh.
I think,
What am I rolling?
So on your character, there is. Let me pop this up. You got a thing on your predator.
Yeah.
So for you, it is manipulate plus persuasion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
All right. All right. So you got a success on that one. If you want to describe what you do, like how do you feed that evening?
Yeah, it would be a matter of probably putting Blush of Life on,
Mhm.
for sure, because cold dead flesh.
Go
Yeah,
ahead. Go ahead
creepy.
and roll hunger.
Oh yeah. Oh
Roll
wait.
rouse. It won't matter.
Oh wait.
Actually, don't worry about it because you'll be able to bring it down anyway. We're good.
Yeah. Um, and yeah, wouldn't would want to basically be that mysterious presence seated at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Potentially drop a little bit of awe in there as well. She doesn't feel like running tonight.
Mm-hmm.
She wants someone to come to her. Make it easy.
Well, you're like, hello, come here.
But yeah, she posts up with a gin martini, so she doesn't look like the weirdo at the bar with nothing to drink. One leg crossed daintily over the other, just scanning the crowd. And as she scans back over, she slowly brings awe up.
Okay. And yeah, you end up. You can go ahead and just describe because we go through this quickly so we don't. Remember, last week was going to be, or last time was going to be like, well, let's do a quick little thing, and that became most of the session.
That was a whole
Which,
deal.
which I love when that happens. It's just I know in my games if we allow that to happen, it can happen a lot.
Yeah.
And a lot of cool things happen there. We got a thing to move towards.
Yeah, so she would find probably a nice call him like a finance bro, someone in like a good suit with a little too much hair gel. Feed him a couple of shots, go out to have a quote unquote smoke, find a nice dark corner to take a little nibble.
All right.
Is this one of these guys that says that always finds some way to say the phrase, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know?
Yes. One of
Here's
those.
the thing, if you just, it doesn't take much. You also can become as rich as I am. Now, yeah, my dad may have had a lot of money, which meant I didn't have to work or have any student loans or anything. But
If he starts talking about NFTs, there's going to be a brief moment where Maxine has to like restrain herself from just like biting at his face.
not going to. Okay. Yeah. Are you gonna go ahead and
Take it down to one.
Yep.
Just make him feel like he's had a little too much to drink.
All right. So what we do now is we'll kind of hit. Anybody else have anything they want to do before?
No.
All right. So Connell, we can kind of just do some a little bit of narration for kind of gaining the thing because we'll kind of get back like the getting to kind of get to know how people are being will happen probably a little bit more after the celebrations, the fights. Then once people have kind of settled down, you kind of get to meet who they actually have been. So tell me what the beginning of the gather is like that first night.
So, the beginnings of gathers tend to start as fights. Gangrel, from what I'm understanding and from what I've looked at, who leads the gather and who speaks at a gather is directly tantamount to who wins these fights. So generally, a gather, also known as a thing, once we begin, it usually involves rights demonstrating status. So these can take days to accomplish. And they are redone every single gather. No two are the same. Once the hierarchy's been established, the business at hand gets dealt with. Most gathers last about a week. It's very rare they last longer. So the first maybe day and a half will probably be spent.
We'll spring it out a day because we'll need to get to the actual.
That's fine. So most of it will probably spend as other gangrel start arriving, start boasting, we start telling tales of things we've done, and then we would wait to be, challenged. And then if it's like, well, from Connell's point of view, he would kind of walk in, see some fairly familiar faces. Lots of animals running around this little spot in the swamp. Could be some really fucking weird animals here as well, if gang girls have gathered from far enough. Connor would walk in saying he's got some incredibly important business that needs to be discussed on. Somebody could claim that it's not, like, his business is not important, or like nobody wants to hear him talk. He could immediately be like, okay, so I'm going to now prove to you that I have the right to speak, which will usually involve a fight or some kind of threatening or intimidation.
Okay. So that evening, we'll put Connell kind of comes up on top there. We'll look at the four that do the best there, who kind of got the most respect from the others there. Aaron, Roland, Dwayne, and Idrani. I don't know if you're looking at the. I've got them on the New Orleans NPCs page.
Yep, I got them.
Yep. So these are going to be like the core. There's others that are gathered around me because getting a gather, you get people from a distance, but sometimes gang will go off the grid enough that sometimes it's just difficult to get a hold of a lot of them.
Oh yeah.
Especially if it's not something like called months in advance.
Yeah, I gather is something that is spread purely by word of mouth. Because Gangrel, we don't do tech, but we very rarely do technology.
Yeah. So it's one
specifically because we came from the Anarchs, we are more rural Gangrel rather than the techie advanced Gangrel, which there are apparently.
There can. So the thing is, since the Gangrel as a whole left, like some of these were a part of the Camarilla previously because they all left. I can't remember the actual year that they had the schism between the Bruja and the Gangrel, but they basically said we're out.
But yeah, so it being word of mouth, Connell is not expecting a massive turnout, but small gathers from what I have researched can still pull in 200-300 Gangrel, which is more. It's more than enough to start a fight.
Yeah, this one you're probably looking about 20 or so because like you called that like.
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks. It was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, not too long. So it's one of those where if you get like 6 months or more, those can kind of be a bit bigger.
Yeah.
All right. And then we'll have everyone go ahead and make a rouse check. We'll go to that or anything while that's happening. Celeste or Maxine, is there anything you're doing? We just want to go straight to clan meetings. All right. Go ahead and everyone make a rouse check.
Yay. Am I starving?
I'm hungry.
I'm good. I'm a happy chappy.
All right. The Tremere, you're going to be meeting at the same place you were before. Okay. Basically at Romeo's estate. Estate's probably too big a word for it. The Toreador are currently meeting at a. They meet after a show gets out. There's one of the theaters downtown.
In the theater district.
Yep, a fairly nice one. As things have been cleared out there. Where are the Gangrel going to be at?
So I believe when Connell called the gather, he called it and kind of gave the knowledge of the swamp near the firehouse where he was calling home. So it would be kind of in the kind of deeper parts of the swamp. In my swamp! And Connell, as he's approaching the swamp specifically, is going to kick off the boots that Maxine had bought for him. He's going to kick off the boots, take off the socks. And he's going to take off the kind of flannel hoodie thing that she got him as well. And he's going to go in barefoot, jeans fucking rolled up to the knees. I'm going in all animal.
Okay. So as you, let me pop some up myself real quick. Celeste. Romeo is not quite with everyone, sort of as of yet. When they arrive, you've got Finley, Jean, Enyin, and Fadi are there.
Oh boy.
When you enter, and also Fayez. When you enter, Fayez kind of breaks into a big grin and goes, "They would have thought you and I'd be working together here."
Thought I'd be dead again before I saw this day happen.
Welcome back to the fold.
Thank you.
Jean comes forward. How familiar are you with the people, the Tremere of the Camarilla? Had you been with them previously, or did you come into this area already on the side of the Anarchs?
She would have been here. She turned in New Orleans.
Okay.
So she would have known them if they were here within the last 10 years or so.
All right. So when you turned, were you Anarch or were you part of the Camarilla?
A Camarilla.
Okay. Who would you say of this group? Who would you say that you had been kind of closest to, that you'd gotten along with best?
Let's go with Finley.
Okay. Let me do this real quick. Nope, that's what I want. All right. Finley kind of makes his way over to you, greets you, and goes, "Celeste, I thought you'd left us for wilder pastures."
Did for a little bit, but it was a little bit too wild for my blood.
But here you got friends you're able to trust. The ties bind us a little more strongly here, I believe, than with the Anarchs. But hell, you must have had a lot. You must have had a lot happen.
Oh boy, it has been a wild ride recently. Started gaining some fame a little bit there, and that's been fun. Became friends with the Toreador and a gang girl. It's been a time.
Yeah, kind of smile there. And Enyin comes up. Enyin and Finley, there's kind of a frost between the two of them. Is that someone that you've gotten along with in the past?
Let's go. No, let's just spice it up.
Okay. Here.
Also, I would like to submit to the jury that Celeste said the F word.
Which one?
said
Objection, hearsay. And that is actually hearsay, my friends. I'm already better than her fucking lawyer.
Yeah, and she just kind of comes up and it's like, a little hard to kind of make it on your own, wasn't it?
Wasn't too bad. I was doing well for myself, but it's easier to make mistakes when you have no one else to fall back on.
Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
Maxine, have you ever been associated with the Toreador here in town?
I think very, very briefly, when Aurelia was trying to tout her around as the newest plaything. But I think just the sheer animosity between the two of them was enough to drive her away to the Anarchs.
Okay.
Just out of fucking spite. I hate you so much, I will go over to these assholes because you won't be there.
All right. Of these group, who's the one you got along with most, and who's the one that you were most contentious with?
You know what? I don't like Bridget's face. I don't like that face. Emma looks like a vibe though.
Yeah, Bridget is as you kind of come in, just kind of takes a look and then like just kind of eyes kind of quickly kind of go over and is like, ah, so burlesque not work out so well.
Oh, sugar, it's just fine. I'm assuming you haven't been to the club in a while. It's business has never been better.
Oh, I'm sure it's going just fine. Oops, here, let me get rid of this person. I'm sure it's going just fine. Just different sort of thing.
Hmm. Well, not all of us enjoy a sparkling nightlife, and I understand that.
So, here, let me get this. At which point the uh, Emma kind of comes over and goes, "Shut up, Bridget. The last time you did something good, I can't even remember." She's kind of a pain in the ass sometimes. I wouldn't worry too much about her.
Well, with that pinched little face of hers, I can't imagine why.
I apologize. Nobody mentioned anything about your sire showing up. If he'd have said something, I'm sure one of us would have let him know not to do that stupid thing. But we can't exactly expect Romeo to keep an eye on, everything going on, or much of
No,
anything going on.
no, he's got. I'm sure he has a lot of plates that he's balancing at this time, considering the temperature of the city right now.
Things getting rough with the Anarchs.
I I'll admit that I was prideful when I left. I hated that bitch so much that I was willing to throw any and all chance of glory away, just to be as far away from her as possible.
Yeah, it looks like she got a hold of. Managed to throw one of her own, under the bus. Let her die in order to bring y'all, take care of that.
Of course. That's the problem with the anarchs. The rebellion is intoxicating. As I'm sure we can all agree on, there's something exciting about that level of fire in the blood. But, well, as the bard said, those violent delights have violent ends.
They do. However, things still get exciting here. You never know what's going to happen when you turn around the corner.
Really? Now, Emma, darling, we haven't spoken in years. You're going to have to catch me up on all the gossip.
Oh, things are always contentious.
Really?
Connell.
Who's causing problems?
Connell. Of those.
I'm already saying right now, Dwayne, I don't like. Don't like his fucking face.
I don't like his fucking face.
That is both Bran and Connell. I don't like his face.
He kind of looks like a naked mole rat.
He looks like if Cletus Cassidy and an alien had a child.
And who's the one you get along with most?
The one he gets along with most. Looking over them, probably Indrani.
Okay.
Aaron looks too young. Roland just looks like one of those guys who thinks he's everything and he's really fucking not. Dwayne, no fucking chance, man. Those eyeballs give me the fucking skeeve. Yeah, probably Indrani. But I mean, even then, Connor would only risk like a toe for her.
Mm-hmm.
A toe? Just one digit.
You're quick, save her. She's dying. She'll be all right. What? Don't you care? Care? She's my best friend. But she's gonna drown, and if she drowns, it's her fault. She couldn't fucking swim.
I'm not good with friends.
I don't see what you want me to do here. Yeah, probably Indrani. Indrani be the one who gets along with most.
Okay. Whenever it kind of comes back in the next night, there's several seems to have fed probably rather bloodily before coming in. Dwayne still got a little bit of red on him. Kind of sits back, looks up at you in the swamp, and he goes, "Well, since you brought us out into the pit of fucking hell, what is this thing that was so important that you had to gather all of us for?"
Is he sitting on a chair or something?
Sitting on a stump.
Sitting on a stump? Oh fuck. Okay.
Kick it.
Well, if it was a chair, I was going to sweep the leg. Fucking watch him clatter to the ground.
It could be a rotten
Um,
stump.
Karate Kid, sweep the leg.
Fucking yeah. I'm gonna kind of look up and go, Dwayne, are you really still kicking around? I thought somebody would have put a fucking stake through your heart a long time ago.
Oh, several have tried. I always managed to make it out. So
Yeah, your stench will do that.
I forgot how just much fun you fucking were to be around, Connell.
I'm bored of you already. To the people that matter here, thank you for coming. I promise I will keep what news I have short, or as short as I can possibly keep it.
At which point Aaron
Some
goes,
of you,
Aaron goes, what is the news?
some of you know me by name, by face, by reputation. Whatever it is, I don't care. I no longer stand on the side of the anarchs, and I will explain my reasons for such.
Dwayne kind of lets out a cackle at this point, where a lot of the rest of them, you kind of see eyes narrow. You see a lot of people getting, looks like a little possibly nervous about this aspect of it, because a lot of them remember the reasons that they left the Camarilla. Maxine. He goes, oh, we've just been seeing about consolidating a little bit of. You'd end with who's been causing problems. Emma goes, we've been looking at possibly consolidating a bit of power here in New Orleans. This town is more rightfully ours than it is the Tremaire's. That's for damn sure.
Well, of course, darling. This is the birthplace of jazz.
There's art everywhere you look. Amazing music, painting, poetry. Everywhere
Beautiful.
you turn around, someone's got an artistic dream that's either living or dying. When they live, they fly.
There's nothing quite like it. Honestly, how did someone like Romeo get to where he is? I'm grateful for what he's done for us, but I am a little curious. This doesn't seem like his kind of town.
I think it's in a lot of ways it is his kind of town. The only problem is Romeo knows how to maneuver. He managed to maneuver himself into a position he's a little hard to get out of, but he's not necessarily entrenched there too badly. Celeste, at this point, Romeo comes down. He goes, family's all here again. Finally got us all back. Celeste, welcome. You remember everyone? It may have been a while.
Yes, I've been reacquainting myself with them all again, reminding myself why I left with some of them.
I don't know if I've ever known a family didn't have its squabbles. Now, the interesting thing is, you come back, Tremere and power, we've got so much that we're able to do in this town. Things that have happened, some of the anarchs are going to get a little more interesting, I think, in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, really?
Well, you got a bunch of them think that Oriane got Anastasia killed.
Mm-hmm.
You've all ended up here. There's just a couple wrenches have been thrown in the works, and if I know the anarchs, there's enough suspicion and people who think they should be in charge and other problems like that, that I have a feeling things are going to start to grow.
Is there any particular spot you're watering to help it grow?
Oh, just kind of looking around right now. Is there a spot you'd recommend?
Well, I mean, there's no secret about the bad blood, excuse the pun, between Anastasia and Oriane. So that's always very easily accessible.
Yeah, but the fact that the fact that you had Oriane, well, didn't necessarily have Oriane or Anastasia killed, but it certainly looks like Oriane did. She might have stumbled in there, but I got to say, I doubt that highly.
I mean, if Anastasia was to go missing, I mean, she's already in hiding, but even further.
At which point, the entire rest of the Tremere just sort of turn, eyes wide. He goes, "She's in hiding," and you see Romeo's face just sort of fall a little bit. which is why he kept mentioning to you that Anastasia was dead, because he had not told the rest of the people yet.
Improper Celeste form.
Celeste, I can't take the blame for this one.
Honey.
Yeah, everyone like immediately. Everyone's just like, just start going into like it gets very exciting there very quickly. Speaking of, I think Connell, you had ended saying that you'd gone back to the Camarilla.
From now on, Celeste, you follow the penguin law. Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Celeste, I love that this is...
This is calculated.
This has become a thing now. This is now the thing.
We can't tell Celeste shit.
No.
My God, Celeste, you're Tom Holland.
Yeah, I was for some reason his last name went out of my head. I was about to say she's like little Tom Holland.
We left with Connell saying that he's left the Anarchs and he's going to explain his reasons why.
All right. You said you left the Anarchs. Okay, you said you've gone back to the Camarilla?
I didn't say I joined the Camarilla yet, but I did say I no longer stood on the side of the Anarchs.
At which point, Dwayne actually goes, "Back goddamn time. We should be on our own. We should be our own thing."
Dwayne, seriously, you should really just shut up.
Oh, you got my hopes up there for a moment, Connell. Not my father was bad.
Dwayne, the adults are talking. And then I will proceed. Oriane has proven time and time again that her word is as brittle as the foundation of her empire. She has belittled, she has trod on, and she has used several kindred clans to get to her place, and she offers no thanks and no credit to those who are deserving of it. Recently, the Camarilla, they approved a blood hunt that came into our territory. Now, as many of you know, I am not one to have our territory tread on lightly. And when they did, we responded in proper fashion. And Oriane responded with nothing. She relied on us to make the correct decision. Now, I don't know about all of you, but that's certainly no leader of mine.
Grani sort of leads forward and goes, "You looking at making a play for the head of the Anarchs?"
No. Leading a rotted horse to water, while it may drink, it won't save the horse.
Roland kind of pops up. It's hard to survive on your own, even for us, if you're in a city.
That's why we won't survive on our own. However, we will have the best of both worlds. I have been promised and sworn to by someone who understands what the word is and how we take it, that we will have our freedoms. As long as our freedoms are within a border that can be maintained and watched. As long as we can abide by some basic rules to keep the masquerade, we will retain all the freedoms that we are used to. The capability to hunt and feed as we do. The ability to allow our beasts to run free. Romeo, the Prince of New Orleans, has promised me this. I ask for you to consider.
It's difficult to hear a whole lot as the noise that kicks up. You hear like, "You fucking kidding me?" Coming from several of them as stuff starts to kind of build into chaos at this point. Let's pop back up to Celeste. It was that Romeo just kind of, he goes, "Well, I can trust that you didn't come by telling us the information. Telling us the information dishonestly. plan to keep that a bit of a secret. I mean, even from us, and I think you'll understand that certain things, good if few people know. We're not a large group, but information gets out.
I believe if that the Tremere are, as in charge here as they should be, I believe that we should all be able to share all information with each other.
Celeste, I apologize for not having told you that this is something you want to keep between yourselves, but I believe that you've just kind of walked in. And now, granted, we're very happy to have you back, but making the kind of decisions that everyone should know everything, that is not in your purview.
Oh, and I agree. I just assumed that you had told them, and I apologize for my little slip up.
That's my fault. I was being subtler than I should have been. And everyone, at this point, everyone's paying a lot of attention. He goes, she's correct. Seems like Anastasia wasn't actually offered up, which did put a target on the backs of Celeste and her entire coterie, which caused some problems, which I think we'll be able to take advantage of. Well, Celeste, now that we know everything, perhaps it would be best we're able to kind of plan a little bit.
Okay.
We might look and see which ones we can bring over. You aware of any in the Anarchs who you think could perhaps find a better umbrella here?
Well, once we find Amanda, I believe she would be happy to follow my coterie here as well. Body's fearful. We might be able to exploit that. Get another Tremere over here as well.
Be a good start. Kind of smiles. Maxine. Emma goes, I think Romeo's days might be a little more numbered here in New Orleans than he believes.
Oh. Emma. It sounds like you have something cooking now.
We've always got things cooking. We've been at each other's throats for quite some time.
Well, see, that's dangerous, talking like this out in the open. And at present, well, considering all Romeo has done for myself and my coterie, I may have to be careful on what is discussed in open channels. As far as I can tell, we are protected, which is going to be vital considering the fact that we have the entirety of the Anarchs of New Orleans looking for us to meet our final deaths.
Liza just kind of gives a bit of a laugh and goes, protected by Romeo. That'll last until he doesn't have a need for you anymore.
Oh, I figured as much.
I mean, I'm sure he's got his hooks right now, but he's gonna run out at some point, and you're gonna fall down on that list of priorities.
Oh no, if he was a Ventru, I'd probably feel a little better about it. But well, you're right. Tremere aren't exactly built to run a city like this, but we are.
All right, Connell. Things have gotten a bit chaotic.
I would like to yell at the top of my voice using every bit of aggression that I can. If anybody here would like to call me a liar and say that any words I've spoken are not true, let them speak now and challenge me openly.
Aaron steps forward and goes, not calling you a liar, Connell. I'm calling you a goddamn fool if you believe that the Camarilla is going to protect you, that they're going to put the leash on and be fine with it being loose.
You better be having some more hairs on your chin before you step up and call me a fool, boy.
Connell, you listen to the Prince of New Orleans, all these promises, all these things he was going to do. You realize you're nothing more than, any of us are nothing more than pawns to him.
You speak as if that you have some advanced knowledge of it. Sorry, has Ariane ever spoken a true word to you? Has Oriane held a word that she has offered you? Has Oriane stood down and humbled themselves to offer you their word?
Kyle, how long have you been awake? I'm trying to remember.
Long enough to know that the Anarchs certainly not the right place.
This is out of character.
Literally.
How long?
This is for me.
I think when we last spoke about it, it was around about 15 years.
15? So yeah,
10, 15 years. It was kind of in that ballpark.
So 10, kind of around the time that the gangrel actually left the Camarilla.
I mean, he might not have been openly aware of it happening, but he might have been awake at the time it did happen.
Yeah. So there's a lot of the build up and such you weren't there for. Aaron just goes, Connell, I realize you come from a different time, and maybe granted, many of us do, but you weren't around when things got bad. The Camarilla cannot be trusted. The only reason the Anarchs can be trusted is because they're looking out for themselves and are fucking upfront about it.
And yes, that is exactly it. Everybody is looking out for themselves. We are looking out for ourselves. Tell me, when is the last time that you felt truly like a gangrel? When is the last time that you hunted and thought to yourself that should anything turn awry, somebody will be watching your back? Because I can guarantee every single fucking one of you right now, nobody in the Anarchs is doing that. However, the Camarilla know the position they are in. They know that we are a tide that will turn in their favor. They know that we are something to be coveted. And on top of that, they know exactly what it will mean if we come to their side. We will have a calling truck on what we can get from them. Already, I have been promised, and I have made Romeo aware of what breaking his word will mean to my kin. We have been promised our way of life. And we have also been promised the protection that comes with the Camarilla. Now tell me, Aaron, when's the last time Oriane promised to clean up after you if anything went wrong?
Connell, I'm trying to remember a time when words themselves meant the truth. Celeste. Fayez, at this point, goes, we do have a little something to discuss. Celeste, I think you've got a little bit of a hand in. There's a problem in my territory. Normally I'd look past it, but you will fucked up. I've got some D-list actor all over Twitter about his son's disappearance and police getting tape from my managers before I knew what was going on. Was unaware that when you hunted, you killed the child of a celebrity.
I mean, he was causing problems. There was no way around not leaving him alive.
He's saying Connell wasn't able to actually not kill this rich celebrity's son.
I don't believe that he would have. I believe he would have spoken out about what had happened, no matter what, and continued to have been a thorn in our side if we didn't make a permanent
and Romeo then
change.
Romeo then asked, "What was it that had happened that would have made this? Who was it?" And the guy goes, "Kevin Sorbo's son." Who the fuck is Kevin Sorbo? The guy goes, "He played Hercules, and right now he's apparently in some. He does a lot of bad Christian movies and says a lot of dumb shit on Twitter, from what I can tell."
See,
he's a Trump fan. The problem went away.
So what exactly happened that would have made this a celebrity, I guess, his son, such a problem that he had to be killed?
If I remember correctly, Kevin Sorbo's son was in the bar, right? And he was the one who had gotten the context for the voodoo, right?
No, this was just he was just an asshole.
Oh yeah, we just randomly killed him.
Wait.
Oh yeah.
Were we all there for that? Did we witness him die?
I think you were all at the bar. You were necessarily right there with it because I think you all had found people in that same place. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
'cause
don't-
I-
Is this the one
Connell,
he
I
dumped the
guess-
body in the sewer?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
this
he-
is the one I dragged into the sewer.
Yeah,
Make
Connell,
it look like
have
an
you- have you
alligator
told
got him.
Anything about what happened?
No.
I witnessed him drag a body into the sewer. That was all I knew. Because I remember I had taken a guy outside. We waved to each other as he dropped a
Oh.
dude in the sewer.
Yeah.
That's my friend. It's like I want to put you in the sewer. You're gonna go back to the dance floor feeling a little more drunk.
Yeah.
The
Maxine
bubbles.
doesn't know a goddamn thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So you really saw it.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. So because this is a problem, we try not to kill unless we have to. That has been the rule for a very long time. I mean, death happens, but son of a celebrity, that's sloppy.
I will talk to Connell about his feeding habits.
Fayez goes, may have to do a little bit more than that. That happened on my territory. And that means I need to have a little bit of restitution made. Cuts back to Maxine. And goes, I just so happen to know that there's a bit of a problem. Fayez's place?
What about it?
Son of an actor got killed. Fayez is basically looking to come after Connell with as strong a teeth as he can.
Oh, he can certainly try. Connell's had that boy's number for at least a month now.
Oh, I mean, granted, Fayez is an asshole. The problem is that kind of a breach of a masquerade right in the middle of town. That's a problem. And
How do we know it's Connell?
apparently there was videotape of stuff in the club. This guy, Kevin Sorbo, he goes, just has me wannabe dumb fuck actor, managed to get a hold of those police tapes fairly quickly. He must have a lot of people in the police. Well, someone says he's a MAGA, and they tend to know a lot of the worst parts.
I know Connell. Known him for quite some time now. He wouldn't do that without good reason. Now, I understand that the masquerade is tenuous at best sometimes, especially given what we've been dealing with in the city for the past couple of months. If we want to be completely honest about it, we weren't even in the fucking Ivory Tower at that point.
Is you and Connell close?
Yes.
Connell looks, from what we can tell, to bring a lot into the Camarilla. That's going to give him a little bit of power here, but Fayez is going to become a problem. Particularly because they've got history. Short history, but Fayez has a habit of rubbing people the wrong way fairly quick.
That's what happens when you drive a poor, terrified fledgling into somebody else's territory. Did you all know about that?
Yeah, it's a blood hunt. They're
She
hoping
was a-
not to run into you.
She was a girl.
Blood hunt's a blood hunt. There's a part of you still kept that common decency, but someone gets turned without permission, that leads to more deaths on our side.
And
I mean, how
that's why
close did it come to becoming a real problem?
well, considering what clan she's part of, there's been no problem.
We got
She
lucky.
can't
They
be
got
trapped, can't be
stupid.
seen.
They sent the worst possible people to do what they were trying to do, which, frankly, I don't believe in miracles too much, but that's what we got. Cut back to Connell. Indrani goes, if by some sort of miracle, Roland's actually going to fulfill all this, what about him trusts you, or makes you trust him, that he's not going to turn the second he's got power consolidated in the city? Or try to put us in cages?
Because without us, the Anarchs are winning. He needs us.
Till the
And he needs...
till the Anarchs are gone. Or under control.
I don't see why that means that we're no longer a necessity, because we will be the ones maintaining that control.
I don't think.
Think about it. Think about it logistically, Ingrani. Who rivals us? Realistically, who rivals us? The Bruja? A bunch of jumped up, rebellious teenagers.
I give the Bruja a bit more respect than that. The one thing the Bruja has that we don't, they stick together better than we do, Connell.
Just now they do. Because we don't have unity. We haven't had unity. But underneath a basic structure, we could have unity.
Dwayne just sort of laughs and goes, I don't know, you're sounding a lot more like a Bruja than a Gangle right now.
Dwayne, the next time you speak, it had better be words of wisdom, or I'll be pulling the tongue out of your fucking mouth. And that, right there, is how I know that words can be taken as truth. Because my words, they are truth.
Romeo ain't you, Connell. He's nothing like you. Celeste. Fayez just kind of goes, I've got some restitution that should be coming my way. And Romeo kind of looks over at you, Celeste, and just goes, the rules here, the laws here often can be a bit harsh. However, Connell is an unchained sort. But this could cause some problems.
But we weren't under those rules at the time, and if I remember correctly, Faiz, you gave us full reign to hunt in your grounds, which, thank you for that, really. But there were 0 stipulations, and Connell had no idea of that. Have you ever just been so hungry you just take a little bit more than you plan to? I'm gonna extinguish Vitae, him.
What's that do?
So I have to roll a contest of my intelligence plus blood sorcery versus his stamina and composure. Mm. And if I win, a win increases the target's hunger by 1, while a critical win increases it by 2.
Come on, baby. Get him.
That's my girl.
That's my baby. Mom and Dad are so proud of you, sweetie.
Thank you.
We're so proud of you, darling. We truly are. Like, honestly, you're making us so proud.
You're doing amazing, sweetie.
No, that's not what I wanted to pick up. Ignore those. So, click blood sorcery. There we go. And then my intelligence. I actually have these things. I need to have to make a rest check. Shit.
Yeah, you succeed there. Now, the thing is, now make a wits plus subterfuge.
Have those too.
Against the his intelligence plus occult.
He probably has that.
Yeah, he may have that.
If you want to spend willpower, you can roll that one more to see if.
Okay. Do I just click willpower roll? I do this wrong every time.
Or if you just want to. Oh, it's a hunger die. You can't actually re-roll it.
Okay.
I forgot about that. Yeah, there's just this moment as you succeeded, so it drained him, or increases hunger by 1. This moment, Celeste, you using blood sorcery on me at a clan meeting? The fuck is wrong with you?
You're bringing up old shit while we're trying to start brand new with you. Right. We've been nothing but nice since we joined you.
And Romeo kind of leaps and goes, enough! So, use blood sorcery on him?
Maybe.
I don't think you understand the kind of rules that we go by. 1, in a clan meeting, you sure as fuck do not use, even outside of a clan meeting on your own, you do not use blood sorcery. 2, you were always under the Masquerade. That's not something that you can just kind of go, oh, we didn't know it was going to cause a problem, because Connell killed someone related to someone famous. That is a blanket thing against every single kindred in the world.
Allow us to make up for it and cover our tracks.
There's a point that Fayez just goes. I think at this point there's a little more to make up for than just what Connell did.
Okay, Connell only has a pager. I doubt he knew who Kevin Sorbo was.
Maxine.
Yeah.
Remind me of the last thing that has been said on yours. I forgot that. I've been making notes, but I forgot to write that down.
Yeah, no, basically the same deal that Celeste has been saying. It's, yes, okay, it was a problem, but for fuck's sake, we were barely under the ivory tower at that point.
She goes, "We got to realize it doesn't matter because Masquerade. But here's the thing: Romeo is going to try to use this on Connell. I guarantee it.
Hmm.
He's a friend of yours. He's part of your coterie. I do not want Romeo to have Gangrel on his leash. Now, if he's bringing him back in, that's going to give him a huge boost of power. Now, granted, I would welcome them to come back, but we cannot allow this to be something that gives Romeo advantage over Connell."
No. And I know Connell. I've known him for more than a decade at this point. If anyone can bring that clan together, it's him. Especially in this fucking swamp.
But from what I understand, there's essentially no possible way this could have been a setup. This just happened to be dumb luck.
I don't fucking know. He's usually... Well, I'm not sure if he's smarter than that, to be honest, but the man doesn't even have a cell phone, so who knows? Oh.
Let's talk about you in the city. What do you want?
Well, feels a bit like I'd been the lone rose surrounded by thorns for so long. It's rather nice to be back around kin. Those who can appreciate the beauty of the city and want to see it elevated. I would appreciate any assistance in helping me shield Connell. I know I am new blood to you, so to speak, but call it a membership fee.
She goes, "We're glad to welcome you back among your kin." Connell,
Sorry, what was the last of that?
We're happy to welcome you back among your kin. Connell.
I realize Romeo isn't me. So don't trust Romeo. Trust me.
And what's going to happen when Romeo tries something? Or maybe creates a reason for you to try to enforce things on us that are outside of the standards of the Masquerade.
Then, as I have told him, we are not going to be his pets. We're more than that. Romeo knows that my clan come first. Now, do I think that the Camarilla will offer us more in this moment in time? Yes. Do I think it will be difficult? Yes. Do I think it will be worth it? Yes.
Make a charisma,
Again,
charisma plus status roll.
That 5 in status and 3 in charisma. This might be a good one. Oh wait, hold on. That's not right. What? It won't do it. Do the thing.
Do the thing. Do.
Now it's lifting the name. How do I roll you?
Yeah, you should be able. I think click on the cross for status, and then grab the die from the attribute. That might be the way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little
Got it
in those respects, but
it's so.
That was a lot of dice.
That's a lot of fucking dice.
Oh, Oh, it rolled charisma twice. However, we could take.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, but
I can re-roll it if you'd like.
um.
Status, and then it's because I clicked the plus on
even if we take
charisma.
the last 5, that's still 1, 2, 3. Those are all successes. If we take those last 5 and there's a couple others there, we'll be good. Because yeah, we'll go ahead and go with that. Yeah, there's a point where the quiet kind of settles among a lot of them, and then there's a part where, or a point rather. Bring up the pictures. I need a third screen. Just see to have everything visible. Roland actually goes. If it was anybody else, I think we can see if this is tenable. A trial basis, of course. Dwayne just goes, fuck it, I want to see what happens. I want to see if this shit goes wild or if this shit sets on fire.
Connell's going to look at Dwayne and go, you see? He spoke some wise words, so you get to keep your tongue. I am a man of my word after all, am I not?
Yes, my lord. And does like a big bow to you.
I'm going to look to Ingrani and be like, what do you say?
I say we keep an eye on that dagger that's going to be plunged into our backs. Probably sooner rather than later, but
at least we'll be keeping an eye on it together.
And Aaron just kind of goes, I feel like a fucking idiot right now, but fuck it. What else am I doing?
This is the best step forward for us, I promise you. With Oriane, we are pets. But we can choose to be more than that. We can be pets, or we can be Gangrel. This is how we do it. I swear to you.
Alright, back up to Celeste.
Nice.
And Romeo kind of turns back and goes, Celeste, you're also going to owe Faiz something for breaking fairly standard laws. You grant him a boon?
Fine.
They kind of looks over and goes, and Faiz, and then Faiz goes, what about Connell? Romeo just kind of looks and says, Celeste, what's your suggestion? You know Connell better than us. What's your suggestion as far as how Connell might go about fixing this? Would he go about fixing this?
What kind of reparations would you like?
Biggest thing I'm concerned about is we have a problem. We've got a spotlight put in the city for someone who was killed. We need to make sure that that goes away. The person who caused the mess cleans it up. It can be seen as a penance. Doesn't completely absolve Connell of doing something that foolish, but it's a start. Primogen get a little bit of leeway.
How about we clean up the... I'll ask Connell to clean up his mess, and we'll call it even there.
No killing this Kevin Sorbo person. That'll probably only bring more of a problem.
Honestly, it sounded like he deserved it, but I get it.
Listen, I don't even clean my feet. Why am I cleaning up mess?
Cut back to Maxine. And goes... Emma goes, feel free to contact me once you know what's going on with Connell, because I am positive, without a doubt, they're going to try something.
How long have you been under Romeo, Emma?
About 50 years at this point.
Really? And what have you learned in that time?
Romeo's very good at playing the friend and ally. But when you're not worth it, when there's no worth for you, he may not always throw you away because keeping people around can be a problem. But he will try to sink in as much as he can so that you're under his power and unable to do much against him. But if he feels you're dangerous, accidents have happened in the past. You much into theater?
Oh, well.
Romeo's
That's
Iago.
Of course.
Smile with one smile in front of you, stab you when you turn around.
Storyteller.
Yep.
Who? Hold on. I'm looking. Do we have? I don't see a primogen listed for Clan Toreador.
We'll make Emma because some of these were original. I was going to just go ahead and move some of these to the Toreador. So Emma's the primogen.
Primogen Abril. As your newest clanmate. I would appreciate, as I said, your assistance in helping me keep my coterie mate safe and protected before that knife gets plunged into his back. And given that I have returned to my proper clan, perhaps we can have further discussion on how to continue to elevate us.
Sounds good to me. And I want to, just to make this something we can trust each other, we're going to try to help Connell here, but we're not going to try to do it because of you. Realize that we have as many reasons to not want the gangrel under the thumb of Romeo as anyone else. Sometimes it's best if we both come into it with our own motives that are very clear and very above board. Means we can trust each other not to be looking for an angle.
I think that's what we need here.
All
With
right.
what you told me from Romeo, well, he's got two faces. I'd rather just deal with one.
All right. Is there anything anybody wants to do before we kind of cut to probably all of you getting together? Probably the next day.
I think that's it.
Okay.
Good.
Now, there was a bunch of the other gangrel there. Most of them left at this point. Basically, these four will kind of join. And granted, that's a lot as far as a single unified group. 4 to 5 are about where most of the clans are. Though there might be a couple others you can kind of pull in here and there.
Connor will leave them with a very, very simple message of, if there are any who wander under our banner, let them know what I've told you. They'll be welcomed. And they'll be respected here. And they'll be protected under my name. Other than that, I conclude my business with this gather.
All right. I'm assuming the partying and other stuff and other things kind of continue throughout the evening.
That would probably go on for a few days.
Yeah. So, anybody
It's a
else?
rager!
Do we
Oh
just
God, it's a rager in the swamp.
Do we want to just kind of pop forward to everyone getting together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, everyone, make one rouse check.
Balls.
I need to go eat.
Balls! This is not going to go well.
Balls.
I need
Oh,
to eat.
shit.
Oh,
Really bad.
Jesus!
holy fuck.
Tens across the board.
Celeste, you should probably go get a snack, bitch.
Celeste, how hungry are you, Celeste, now?
4. It was a bad day for me.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Are
There's a lot
you all able
happening.
to bring up the party sheet under tools? Under the tools, or one that you can see, like there's like 3 little people there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
party sheet. I got it.
If you're ever curious on that, because that'll bring up the basic stuff for folks. Yeah, when I looked over them, I'm like, oh, how's Celeste? Jesus Christ!
Shit!
4. Yeah, let's Celeste, let's go a little bit into your feeding, and then if I don't know if Connell or Maxine's gonna feed yet, but I'm assuming you're hitting up your cults.
I'm actually gonna avoid them right now.
Okay.
Because you would accidentally
Not a
kill
bad idea.
somebody.
That, and we have such big targets on our back. I'm worried that if someone were to try to strike against us, they would do something bad to my cult first. So
Fire, swing first. Swing first, guys. Swing first.
Swing, swing, rock that shit, swing.
All right, how are you gonna hunt?
I'm just going to try to sneak in someone's window.
Okay. Kind of like a yeah. If you want to make a sort of dexterity plus stealth.
Still.
Stop. Yep. That's it was
Okay.
6, but yeah. No, that's that is a 6. I just didn't click but I remember to click the thing. Yeah. You make your way into like what kind of a house you looking for?
Something quick and easy. So probably we're New Orleans, so I doubt there's like ranch style homes. Something where like all the lights are off. Honestly, probably something that looks like an older person might live there.
Okay.
I don't want to
One of those like kind of
mess
older
around and
people
risk it
that's
right
sort
now.
of living on their own.
Probably like
Yeah.
one of those little shotgun houses,
Yeah.
because those are small.
Yeah.
Kind of swing by and you see at one there's an old guy kind of sitting on his porch for a while before finally getting up and kind of heading in. That in sort of the evening. Can wait a little bit. You sneak in. He's just on kind of just like not actually not in the bedroom, but if you sneak down, he's just on the like the sofa. The TV's going. You got a Fox News thing about Kevin Sorbo in New Orleans, looking for his family.
I'll like hesitate and watch that for a second
Yeah.
before.
I know how I'm feeling.
He's just like, I will find and get justice for my son's killer. This awful thing, and Tucker Carlson is interviewing him, and it's disgusting.
Probably on Fox News.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I'm gonna roll my eyes before feeding on this old dude.
All right. Yeah, you can go ahead and wait. What is the most you can remember? The most you can feed safely. You can take him down a certain amount without killing him.
Well, because if you completely sate your hunger, they're done, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think in this one you'll be able to get yourself down to 1 on here.
Okay. Because I'm absolutely not killing him after the conversation earlier.
Oh yeah, there we go. Hunger slaked. Oh, actually, I will say this: 2 is the max you can get for a non-harmful drink. You can go
Okay.
up to 4 that can risk death unless treated.
So if I want 3, or like to go from 4 to 1.
Yeah, if you go from 4 to 1, he'll end up making a strength plus stamina against a difficulty equal to 3 to survive the blood loss.
I won't risk it. I'll just take 2.
Okay.
And then I'll.
All right, where y'all meeting?
I mean, can we safely make it back to Celeste's? Because she's warded.
So I'm behind Kevin Sorbo, right? And I'm gonna
Arr! Just fuck the masquerade.
I kill him
Ah,
on
cool,
TV,
cool.
rip his head off.
Well, what's his
shout,
fucking name?
by the way, vampires are real. and then disappear into the night.
What's the guy from True Blood that ripped the guy's spine out on TV?
Oh!
Russell Edgington, just full Russell Edgington.
But Harry,
This-
folks.
It was so good. I hate that show, but I love that show.
I enjoyed most of the first season until they started expositioning and like, do you know the headstand how to make a sign? Of course I do. I'm a vampire. I understand. Can you tell us? And I'm like, why are they explaining things they should all know to each other?
I liked it until they just killed people for the sake of killing them. Like,
Seasons like
like,
5, 6,
what's
7
his-
were a little weird.
what's his name? Joe Manganiello was like a really important character in there for a long time, and then just like suddenly shot in the head. Like, what? What? You don't just kill off pivotal characters. That's not what happens. Look what happened to Game of Thrones when that shit happened, okay? It got messy real quick. I mean, I kind of liked it. It was alright, I suppose.
It's fun.
better than-
It's fun.
it was-
and
It's fun.
it's fun.
It was,
It's
it
trashy.
was better than the originals.
You know, the books are the same in there.
Yeah, Connell's not going to feed. Connell's going to wait.
Yeah,
I'll feed
Maxine
later.
will hold off.
I'm only on 2. Although Connell is in a stupidly good mood.
Celeste
So
is
how-
the complete opposite.
How many gangrel did I convince to come over?
The 4.
I'll fucking take it.
Yeah.
And a couple
One
of
of
them you might be
one
able
of
to,
them.
you might be able to convince on a occasional basis that are nearby, but generally those 4.
One of them looks like a fucking skeeve, by the way.
He looks like a Chinese
don't like
crested
him.
water puff. That fucking dog with the like
Oh yeah.
a Chinese crested. That's what
Yep.
he looks like. That's what he fucking looks like.
I can't
yeah,
stop staring.
It looks like if Chucky from the Rugrats grew up weird.
And turned into Chucky from the doll.
yeah, like little column A, little column B. Yeah, no. I would say
he's just intense. Once you know him, he's less creepy.
it's not that he's creepy. His face is just a little unfortunate.
He's also just gonna eat
Making
whoever's
it
in front of
creepy.
him.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I'd say Maxine is probably not quite as on edge as Celeste is, but she's definitely not as chipper as Connell apparently seems to be. She's like picking the nail polish off of one of her nails, which is a towel. Well, you are covered in mud and smiling.
And neither of you are either of those.
Honey, these are $2,000 shoes.
That is a stupid amount of money to spend on things that go on your feet.
Yeah, but they're pretty.
I'm not going to dignify that with an answer. I've been speaking to Dwayne too much to dignify stupid words with answers. We have gangrel. Specifically, we have 4.
That's
But
good.
that's still 4 gangrel
And that's
who
about
are
the
willing
extent.
to follow me.
It's about the extent of the Toreador on this side of things. So, well done.
Good work, Connell.
And how did things go with your clans?
It was interesting.
Care to share?
You killed somebody? And she's not accusing. Maxine looks maybe a little disappointed, but also a little worried.
You ever hunt a bad one?
Pretty consistent.
Someone you see the way they look at people, see the way they act. And you know if you don't, somebody else might feel the harsh end of things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I killed someone. Didn't hide it from Fayez. I won't deny it from anybody else, certainly not either of you.
No. Connell, darling, I think that's the problem.
Yep.
Word from the Rosebush is that you've got a bit of a sword of Damocles hanging over you right now. I understand that we came this way because so far Romeo has been more upfront than Orion could ever bother to be. But the primogen of the Toreadors has been with the tower for nearly 50 years. This is a pattern with Romeo. He will make nice. He will play your friend. He will promise you things, give them to you as long as it is advantageous to him. But the minute you are seen to be dangerous or the minute you stop being useful, it becomes a problem. And if he feels that you're dangerous, accidents tend to follow. It is a common thread with him.
And Fayez is pissed.
Fayez can suck an egg.
I agree, but he has Romeo's ear.
I was going to say he can suck something a lot more unpleasant than an egg.
I'm trying to be demure about it, goddammit.
I tried to get revenge for his bullshit, and now I'm stuck with giving him a boon.
What?
Fayez offers up insult and then wants me to what? Walk up and apologize for something, for rules I was not bound by.
I knew you would rather die than do that, so I offered that we try to clean up the mess. Apparently this guy you killed he's got a famous dad or something who is putting up a huge stink.
He's all over the fucking news.
When did having a famous person as the person who shat you out, when did that mean you were to be excused from the atrocities of your behavior?
Probably
He's not excused from it, but there's a lot of eyes in this area now, and we're risking a masquerade breach.
That's the problem, Connell. It's not... Son of a bitch had it coming. But considering that the Sabbat was just here trying to potentially bring down the Inquisition, folks are touchy. And rightfully so to a point. And I would do anything to protect the both of you.
I know how I can clean this up. It's not going to be nice and it's going to be quite hard, but I know how I can clean it up.
Give us a little time. I've talked to Primogena Brill. She's willing to help. Part of her agreement to bring me back into the folds, into the greenhouse, I guess you could say.
Where's Fayez right now?
Connell.
No.
I'm not gonna go harm him, I'm not gonna hurt him, I'm not gonna fight him.
I'm gonna look at Maxine like,
I give you my word. Unless he throws the first hand, I will raise none.
I already did a poor job of discussing this with him. And Romeo was displeased by that. And I worry that if you try to remedy things in your manner, it'll only further what Romeo can hold over your head.
What Romeo holds over my head is for me to worry about.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Connell, we're your fucking coterie. I understand that you are old and powerful in your own right, but we're gonna look out for you whether you like it or not. You stubborn bastard.
Allow me the courtesy of the benefit of the doubt, in that I think I can actually make things better here.
I swear to God, if you end up meeting the true death, I will figure out a way to bring you back, and I will stake you again.
My true death is not going to come by some whip arse like fucking Fayez. I'm going to go down fighting one of them.
Sorbo.
Kevin Sorbo's next D-list movie is a bit of Vampire Hunter.
Vampire the Masquerade, ladies and gentlemen.
If they ever make a movie, get Kevin Sorbo in it, just have him die to a random gangrel. I'll be so happy. If I'm gonna meet the true death, it's gonna be fighting a werewolf. Straight up, it's going to be fighting one of the Luger. It's going to be fighting a Garu to the death.
Really? They're still around?
I will neither confirm nor deny.
I've seen Connell when he wakes up in the evening. That's pretty similar. I think you stand a chance.
Where's Fayez right?
Celeste's here, and she'll say something.
Where's Fayez right now?
No.
It's probably at his club.
He's probably gone home. Yeah. He's probably gone home after the meeting.
Then I would like to head to Fayez's club.
One last thing before you go, Connell.
Yep.
There might be some rumblings in the greenhouse. Celeste, I'm putting this out here on trust. By my understanding, it's a bit of a point of contention that the Toreadors are not running this city, given its history and given, well, look at it. It's beauty and art and music and poetry. It's everything that we are, everything down to our blood. And I think that's starting to cause a little friction.
My sire believed the same. Told me to keep an eye out, and today I did a little test to see how well knit the Tremere were here. He believed that a Tremere shouldn't be in charge of this town. I say they're not as tight-knit as I thought they were.
No. I love this city. Whatever heartbeat I have left, it's here. Whatever contention I have with how I was embraced and how I came to be part of this clan, sire has a point. And so does the Primogen. Now we are new and fresh in the eyes of the tower, so I'm not going to do anything stupid. But if a ladder presents itself, could be I'll do a little climbing.
I'm happy to help, because I agree. Tremere is meant to work behind the stage. We need someone else on that stage.
I've been on stage most of my life, darling.
I made a
It'd
promise.
be better if that were the case.
I made a promise to the gangrel that they would not have to worry about Romeo's orders. That would be me to worry about. So if you need us, you have us.
We'll see. We'll see. You are my coterie mates. It's only fair. We're in this together.
Then, in the sake of it being in it together, I intend to drop my oath to kill Fayez. That'll be how I make my reparations. I'll end the feud between us.
Is it still a feud if he swings first?
If he swings first, that's his choice to do.
Fair
I
enough.
will be making sure my hands stay firmly by my side.
Not saying a new feud is out of the question. Just saying.
Just the current one. We're gonna put it in a little box.
I'm saying I'm dropping the current feud. If he starts another one, then that's his fault.
That's fair. You know what? We're gonna take this current one. We're gonna put it in a little box. We're gonna put it on the shelf.
Les is pulling it out now. Like, fuck that dude.
Sir, you just returned a feud. You want to pick up another one?
Either I'd like to cancel a feud. Oh, we're very, very pleased to hear that. That's that done for you. 5 minutes later. Hey, I'd like to open up a new feud. This fucker is really going to get
This son
killed.
of a bitch.
This fucking dick.
I told you we needed to make it like a gym membership. You can't just drop it that easy.
What do you mean I can only pick up 3 feuds at a time?
What do you
your
mean?
battles.
What do you mean in order to drop my feud? I have to attend a class on proper feuding.
We want to thank you for trying to gain a new feud, and we understand feuds are wonderful things, but due to demand, we can only have so many per customer.
I would like to open up a feud with you.
Your credit score is too low.
Please press
Pay off the
0
feuds you currently have out.
If you wish to talk to a human operator. Alright, so Connell's going to Fayez. Are Celeste and Maxine going as well, or are you doing something else?
I'm cool if they want to come with, but I would like to speak to Fayez alone.
Maxine's gonna come with.
But I'll stand outside.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Maxine will come with, and she'll go inside, but she will stay at the bar, like just in eye line.
Okay.
I will walk in the club and look for Fayez.
All right. As you kind of head in the bar, Fayez and Sabina are kind of sitting at one of the back tables, leaned over, chatting.
I would walk over, but instead of being like what Connor would usually do and like, you know, just right up approach the table, I'll walk and I'll stop about 10 feet away. And just kind of, you know, make a point of like gesturing, like, is it okay for me to approach?
This Primogen?
I walk in and I'll sit down and go, Sabine, lovely to see you. Fayez. If it would be all right with yourself, Fayez, I'd like a couple of minutes of your time. You and I.
Is this a mano-a-mano thing?
This is a 2 people approaching each other to solve an issue thing. Hands will stay firmly at their side. I give you my word, I intend no harm.
And I don't have to give you my word because Romeo is supposed to speak with you, or I'm assuming your coterie mates did, or he's going to be getting hold of you soon about the problem that popped up, and if I take things in my own hands, I cause more problems. You are Primogen besides. So.
Yes, I understand. Now I'm trying to solve this in a way.
Let's go to my office.
Let's do.
And you said Maxine was at the bar and Celeste was... Where were you?
I'm hanging out outside. What time of night is it?
Oh, probably, 10:30, 11?
Okay, so not too late?
No.
I'm going to call Shane to set up a time and place for our date.
Oh my shitting dick nuts! Fuck, goddamn.
Oh yeah.
He is to have you. He is to have you home by midnight.
Damn, it's so early.
By sunrise, young lady.
If it's
Or
after
I will,
sunrise-
or
if
I
it's
will,
after
I will find
sunrise-
your boyfriend and I will lock him in a wardrobe.
It's after sunrise. I can stay here.
If your
By the way,
boyfriend does
yeah.
not have you, if he doesn't have you home by sunrise, I will take him out into the middle of the swamp and I will leave him.
He has to find his own goddamn way home.
If he does not find his way back, then he was not strong enough. If he does, then we know he's worth you.
Take his shoes. He's got to find his way back without his shoes.
I'll give him a knife. How's that? Is that fair? Like, he
That's
can have a
nice,
knife.
All right.
I didn't say nothing about the crocodiles I'm going to set on his ass.
And Connor.
Florida lowland gators? What?
They're friendly. You just gotta, let them nuzzle you.
Scratch the belly. Scratch the belly. That gets them.
Just gotta grab down on their snout. They'll be fine.
I'm gonna mess with your boyfriend so fucking much. I'm gonna set alley
Why you don't
cats on
talk
him.
to the person you're stalking?
I'm gonna set
You
alley
end up in
cats.
bad situations.
I'm gonna
honey.
set alley cats on him.
It's like a bartender. You never
Just
cross
like three,
the bar.
just like 3 or 4.
3 or 4 alleys, right? I'm gonna make pigeons dive bomb him.
Okay. All right. So, Connell, you go into the office.
Yep. I walk in and I make a point of not sitting unless invited to.
Yeah, he takes a seat.
I'll nod to him and sit down.
First, on my behalf, if this was something that I'd have found out my own, I would have been able to take care of parts of it. Granted, I still would have come for some sort of restitution, but Sorbo apparently has a bunch of contacts in the police in this area, or at least they are more well disposed towards him, being whatever the hell he is. He was able to actually get a hold of the video surveillance from that evening. Before I was able to find out about it, the day manager got it to them. Now, if I'd have known you killed him, I maybe could have kept an eye on things. We try not to kill him, feed him.
Sorry, Storyteller, just check one thing. I thought Fayez knew about the kill
I don't think
because the day after it, he brought it up.
I don't remember.
He'd already mentioned to Connor, we don't just kill people here. Like, you don't just walk around and wantonly kill people.
Okay. Yeah, I think he may not have known it was anybody important.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Connell would say, look, I'm not one to say that how I feed is perfect. It's not. When you walk this close to the beast inside, sometimes the beast wins. This is not a regular occurrence, and I will be 100% honest with you as a show of the bridge I am trying to build between us. I killed him with every intent of doing so. The way he moved, the way he looked at people, the behavior and the mannerisms that he provoked. I believe you'll understand what I mean when I say being a predator is very, very easy to spot one.
Out of curiosity, why give a fuck if one of them is a predator? They got nothing on us. We're predators. There's plenty of predators out there. Why give a shit if one of them is a little asshat going after people?
It is the mistake of the lion to think that ants cannot harm them when they swarm.
So you thought Kevin Sorbo's son was gonna...
I thought that just because I exist in a world absent of humanity, it was something I was once part of. Something I remember, most of it fondly. And while certain aspects of my clan will always win through, where I am from, if someone has an intent of doing wrong, we would see it as our inclination to stop that from happening. Did I do it in the best way? Possibly not. And for that, I will apologize for the inconvenience that is put on you. I was not bound by the Camarill's laws at that time, which I will say and I will stand my ground on. However, we were given a courtesy of hunting on your land, and that courtesy was betrayed. So I am willing to do this as a reparation. Now, I know a reparation was apparently agreed upon by both of my coterie mates, but I do intend on clearing this up myself.
Which is what I believe, which is what Romeo was going to be talking to you about.
Well, I would like to handle this between yourself and I, while keeping Romeo aware of us handling it between you and I, not to remove his position, but as a show of respect. As reparation, I will drop our feud. I will no longer hold any negative or ill will against you. I will no longer actively work against you should it ever arise, even if it were to be of my benefit. I will forget the insult that was offered to me on our first meeting. I will forget the danger you threatened upon those I hold dear. And I will no longer pursue my own reparations for that.
I appreciate that, Connell. May I give you some advice as in kind? You seem an honorable man. Fortunately, you're in a bad time, a bad city, and the bad side of life to be an honorable man. If you're looking for predators and you go after them, you're going to find them left, right, and center in this town. You will get caught eventually. So mine is be careful on which ones you think deserve death. That brings heat.
Are we fixed?
We're fixed.
And I thank you for hearing my words, and I will take your words into consideration.
Have a great evening.
And yourself.
All right,
Connor will
Celeste.
get up and leave.
Celeste, you call him up or text him?
I'll text him. 'Cause it's late.
Immediately, like dot 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 dot. Hey, how are you?
Hey, I realized we never set a date or time or anything. Just wondering if you had something in mind?
How about Friday?
Perfect.
And he names you want to go for a drink and kind of names a club or like a bar.
Yeah, that'll work.
Awesome, I'll see you there.
Cool. Sounds good. Celeste is just super awkward, like pacing in front of this bar texting right now.
Camera sort of like pops over and you see Shane originally like this big like awesome, can't wait. All right, Maxine.
So awkward.
Oh,
So
yeah.
awkward.
Sabine kind of slides in next to you and just goes, things been exciting for you.
Yes, it has. I would honestly love for the excitement to stop at any point in time.
Welcome to the Camarilla. You make a change like that, things are going to go a little nuts.
Right.
Your friend in there trying to kill my fires?
I hope not. I already told him not to, but he doesn't always listen to me.
Well, here's things not being boring.
Cheers.
All right, and we good to kind of put a cap on it for tonight?
Yeah.
All right, everyone gain 2 XP.
That's what I needed.
And let people know where we can find y'all.
Hi, hello, good evening. You can call me Laura or Tutu or Laura Tutu. You can find me on most of the socials as some iteration of Laura underscore Tutu. Tickamatalks and the Instagram and the Twitter. I actually dick around on Twitter a lot more recently. It's kind of weird. But you'll be able to see actually myself and Hallie and Bran tomorrow over with the Worlds Guild at 6 p.m. Central. We're doing a little D&D in Bran's fabulous homebrewed world. We just killed a general of the abyss.
Like one does.
And
Like
some
you
of
do.
us didn't almost totally die.
Yeah, no,
like 30 times.
that wasn't almost a TPK.
Or have a building collapse on them.
So yeah, I'm doing that. You can find me on, well, we are filming for Hounds of Fearsome, the current long shot running again over at the Worlds Guild, based in my dear friend Jocelyn's iteration of the Feywild. Currently playing the champion of the Spring Court, trying to figure out what the fuck is happening with the Lord of the Hunt, because he is killing indiscriminately, and if that chaos spreads to the material plane, oh boy, buddy, is that going to be a rough time for everybody. We are, like I said, we're filming. We're trying to figure out the best way to get this posted to the Worlds Guild channel because honestly, none of our computers can handle streaming it. But it'll be fine. We're getting it. It'll be there. It's gonna be great, guys. Seriously, I'm having so much fun in this campaign. The banter is mwah. So stay posted over on the Worlds Guild. There's all sorts of fun shit coming.
Hi, Hallie. Jalapeno on TikTok. I post TTRPG stuff along with other nerdy shit. Hey Jalapeno over on Instagram and Twitter. Don't really post there that much, but it's whatever.
Sometimes I yell at Hallie on Twitter.
That's I mostly use it to yell at Laura. Yeah, so Laura got our Wednesdays. Every other Friday I am over at Dinner and a Game show on Twitch. We just started a Suicide Squad campaign. Session 1 was absolutely wild with a PvP player death in the first session. So our second session is going to be this Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
What system? What system?
D&D 5e.
Okay.
But it's a lot of fun.
I am a Son of Asgard on TikTok. I am also operating under 2 Twitters. I've got my personal Twitter, which is Son of Asgard with 2 R's, or I have at World Tree Quest, which is where I put up all the updates from my streams and such. You can catch me at the Worlds Guild every Wednesday at 6 p.m. CST with To the Skies, where I try and get a bunch of steampunk sky pirates through the apocalypse and out the other side. Or you can catch me on Mondays at 5 p.m. with The Forming over on World Tree Quest Twitch, which is set at the very, very beginning of my world as it was crafted as a carbon copy of the Feywilds. Every Thursday at 7 p.m. CST, I'm in the Abyss with Into the Abyss at World Tree Quests again, where I lead a bunch of people through the Abyss. We're close to finishing up. We've only got about 2 or 3 sessions left. As we're getting ready to face the BBEG, who's not been revealed yet. Fridays at 5:30 CST, I lead a bunch of pirates into the elemental plane of water while they try to hunt a Leviathan so they can make their ship move faster. Every Saturday at 12 p.m. CST, I take a bunch of female, femme, and genderqueer, non-binary people through the Girl Squad, where we are going to be doing some heroic shenanigans. Mainly, we are trying to stop a world from destabilizing and falling to absolute corrupt evil. And every single Sunday at 11 a.m. CST, I'm with the Wayward Path, which is a bunch of anti-heroes who are currently timeline hopping and have recently discovered that the weave where magic is from is no longer a what, but a where. And yeah, other than that, I'm here with these lovely people where I get aggressive and make shit go bad.
Yeah.
It's fun. Yeah, go follow me on all those beautiful and amazing things.
I am Improv GM on Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube. This coming Sunday, after a break because of cons and moving and a bunch of other stuff. By the way, It's dark enough in here. I keep expecting to be in my old apartment when I look different directions. It's been weird. Yeah, on Sunday we're going to be getting into probably the last couple sessions of our Masks game for Season 1, at which point we are going to probably switch over to something else for a little while before getting back to Season 2. We are going up against essentially our version of Elon Musk. And that'll be Sundays at 7 p.m. So thank you very much, and we'll catch you all later.